Hey, it's Cole here. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be putting out my final mock draft, my final predictive NFL mock draft for the 2023 NFL draft. So, with the first overall pick, the Carolina Panthers select Bryce Young. We've seen the Will Levis Reddit post. I don't think that's going to happen. If it does, then I don't know what's going to happen. Fine. I'll take the L, I guess. I don't know. That would be a wild pick, and I would totally disagree on it. Even though I feel like I'm higher on Will Levis than some, I wouldn't take him with that number one overall pick. Now, the Texans, I think they're going to stay put. I don't think they're going to trade. I don't think they're going to take a quarterback, and I don't think they're going to take Will Levis or Will Anderson. I think they're going to take Tyree Wilson. It seems like they really like Tyree Wilson. He could be the first edge rusher off the board. That's not something crazy. That's rumors been going on for months, at least a month by now. And I could see it happen. Maybe D'Amico Ryans wants his kind of ball of clay a little bit more than what Will Anderson is, and get Tyree Wilson. If that works out, Tyree Wilson will be an absolute beast. And the Cardinals, I think they stay put. Well, as here, I think they look to make trades, but I don't think the trade they want will be available, and they'll stick and pick Christian Gonzalez. If they stay at 3, the rumors have been Christian Gonzalez or Paris Johnson Jr. And I think they would rather go Christian Gonzalez and try to get a good tackle or a good defensive player, because they just need defense anywhere. Cornerback, edge rusher, defensive line. Probably not linebacker, but honestly, maybe they could upgrade linebacker, but obviously not in this draft. But I have the Cardinals going Christian Gonzalez, and I think they stay put. Now the Colts are now on the clock, and it's between Will Levis and C.J. Stroud, in my opinion. I understand the Anthony Richardson, Shane Steichen, Jalen Hurts type of thing, but I'm gonna take C.J. Stroud. He's the next best quarterback. I think they just have to take him here. I just think they do, and I feel like they're interested in CJ Stroud. Again, I have no idea. But I feel like he can definitely work out of somewhat of the Shane Steichen offense that we saw in Philly. Not too, it's going to be toned down, especially with the running plays, but CJ Stroud can definitely get out the pocket and move. Now, Seattle Seahawks, I think they could definitely take Jalen Carter here, but I'm going to have him take Will Anderson. I think they're just going to take the safer pick when the talent gap is not that big. And I think they just take the safer pick when you talk about character concerns and all that. Now, the Lions are on the clock. I think they stay away from Jalen Carter. I think they select Devon Witherspoon. They need a cornerback. They traded Jeff Okudah. I know they brought a lot of other secondary players in, but lots of those were one-year deals. And, I think, the only person that would stop you from taking him would be Cameron Sutton. But, I still think you need more than just Cameron Sutton. So I think Devon Witherspoon is a Detroit line. If I had the pencil pick in, I'm penciling that one in. But I'm not putting pen to paper, but I'm penciling that one in. Raiders, I think in this situation they take Will Levis. I think that's kind of where they're feeling, where they're heading. They could take Anthony Richardson, but I think they'll take quarterback. I think they'll take Will Levis, and I would be really excited to kind of see what Will Levis can do with the Raiders. I don't think he starts right away. That's also a good thing for Will Levis. I don't think he should be starting right away. He can, and I think he'll do better if he started right away than Anthony Richardson. But I think keeping him backup quarterback, let him work behind Jimmy Garoppolo, I think that would be very, very good for his development. Now the Falcons are on the clock. I don't think they pass up on Jalen Carter. And I would love to see that with Calais Campbell, Grady Jarrett. I think it'd be a really good defensive line. He can learn behind Calais Campbell. Obviously with the off-field issues, Calais Campbell can help with that. And I think, they're going to get a hometown kid based on their college, because I don't know, did Jalen Carter was he born in Georgia? No, he was born in Florida. But school-wise, hometown kid. So the Bears, I think if he wasn't available, they could be looking to trade down for the Steelers or something. But Paris Johnson Jr. is available. Going to give them Paris Johnson Jr. Now, the Eagles are going to be trading down. We'll have a few trades in this. And the first trade is going to be the Eagles with the Tennessee Titans. They're going to move up a pick. I don't necessarily know what that would be like. Maybe a 2 third-round picks. I don't know. It's not the point of this. The point is that the Titans will be trading up with the Philadelphia Eagles for pick 10. And who will they be selecting? Anthony Richardson. They're going to make sure they get their guy, make sure they get their franchise quarterback, and make sure that nobody else trades up like Washington, maybe Houston, Tampa Bay, So they're making sure nobody trades up and they get their guy in Anthony Richardson. And now the Eagles are back on the clock. I'm going Peter Skoronski. I think they look at trenches, the trenches on both sides with this pick. They could look at secondary, maybe a Brian Branch, but I think they go Peter Skoronski. I think, you know, regarding Bijan, this might be their highest player on the board still. Who knows? So yeah, Eagles getting Peter Skoronski. Go ahead. You can put him in guard. You can put him at tackle when Lane Johnson retires if you want to do that. I think this would be a really, really good pick here for the Philadelphia Eagles, who is very good at developing a lineman, both sides of the ball. And now, the Houston Texans, they will be trading down. They will be trading down with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So back-to-back trades, pretty much. I don't know what it would be, maybe like a second, and some like 7-5, and then, I don't know, Buccaneers get like a 6, 7th round pick. I don't know what it would be, but it'd be something like this. We're not here for what the actual details are. We just know that the Buccaneers are trading up to 12 and select who, you ask? Bijan Robinson. I think they like Rachaad White, but I think, they can't pass up on a guy like Bijan Robinson, and this would definitely elevate their offense for Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask. Whoever wins that starting QB job definitely makes their lives a lot easier. It makes that offense a lot more dynamic. You get Mike Williams or Mike Evans, you get Chris Godwin. Now you have Bijan Robinson. I think that would be a very, very good pick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now the Packers are on the clock here. Obviously, they traded up with the Jets in the Aaron Rodgers trade. And with the Packers, I have them taking edge rusher Lucas Van Ness. I think they definitely take a look at wide receiver Quentin Johnston, Jackson Smith, Nick Jigba. But I think they're going to settle on edge rusher, and they're going to take Lucas Van Ness. They definitely need an edge rusher. That's definitely a position of need. And I think that's what they do. I think they take Lucas Van Ness. He looks like a Packer, to be completely honest. So I think they can definitely look at receiver, but I'm going to have them go edge rusher. And now the Patriots are on the clock. And with the Patriots, I had them taking the hometown kid and Isaiah Flowers. It's going to be the first wide receiver off the board. It just makes too much sense. It seems like they've been, with all the pre-draft visits, it seems like Zay Flowers is one of their highest guys. I think they're going to want to try to keep him in Boston, keep him in Massachusetts. I think that's what they do, because they definitely need another receiver next to Juju Smith-Schuster. They lost Jacoby Myers. Kendrick Bourne and whoever else they have. They're okay, but they're not receiver 2 quality. And Zay Flowers might not even be receiver 1 quality, but he's good, and I think they're going to take him. Now the Jets, who I have taking Darnell Wright. I'm taking Darnell Wright. You got to protect your quarterback and Aaron Rodgers, and I would say they go to the right side of Darnell Wright, and then you go to the left side of Mekhi Becton. I think that's pretty good for the New York Jets. And now the Washington Commanders. It seems like they're very high on Darnell Wright, and I think if he's off the board, and I believe another rumor was if Paris Johnson Jr. is off the board, which I think he will be, but if not, I'd be really happy. And I think now they're just gonna settle with one of their probably guys higher on their board in Deonte Banks. I think this would make a lot of sense. I think they could possibly trade down. I think you look at Deonte Banks. He's probably one of the better, if not the best, zone coverage corner in this draft. And obviously, Washington runs a lot of zone. That's why I'm kind of not high on Joey Porter Jr. That's kind of why I don't believe Joey Porter Jr. will go to the Commanders, depending on if the other 3 guys are not available. So that's kind of where I stand on that with the Washington Commanders. Now this one, I say it's pretty easy, to be completely honest. And I have the Steelers going Joey Porter Jr. If he's available, he seems like the pick. You keep him, family ties with the Steelers. It seems like they like doing that. I think they drafted Connor Hayward, the brother of Cameron Hayward. Is that the right? Yeah, Hayward, their defensive lineman. So it's kind of where I'm feeling with them, and I think they just go Joey Porter Jr. Now the Lions are on the clock. I think they could possibly look to trade down, but I'm going to give them Nolan Smith, edge rusher. And early in their draft, they selected Devon Witherspoon. I think they can still be looking for another defensive piece, an edge rusher, to put next to the other side of Aiden Hutchinson. I think Nolan Smith makes a lot of sense. He's my edge rusher 3 in this draft. Obviously, he's smaller, but he's very quick. He is very, very quick. He has amazing bend. I think this would be an absolute great pick here for the Detroit Lions. Now, the Houston Texans, and they're going to be pretty happy. They're going to get their wide receiver in Jackson Smith-Njigba, who they possibly could have taken at 12, but they traded down and they got their guy in Jackson Smith-Njigba. You know, this wide receiver class, again, is very weird, and we've seen rumors to say that, again, teams don't like these receivers. And I've tried so hard to only make it like 3 or 2 wide receivers in this first round. I will have all 4 drafted, the top 4 in Zay Flowers, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Quentin Johnson, and Jordan Addison. I do have all of them in this first round, but I was looking and I was seeing how teams may pass up on some of these receivers. I just couldn't see it. But, I could definitely see these receivers falling down. I don't think, that many go into the top 20, or even top 15. So we'll kind of see how everything plays out here in the draft in real life. And then the Seattle Seahawks, I didn't know what to do with here. They got Will Anderson, so they're not looking at edge rusher, I would say. Jalen Carter, talent like Jalen Carter necessarily isn't on the board. I would take wide receiver, but again, I was trying to make sure wide receivers kind of fell down the board because that seems like kind of where everybody feels or, what the rumors are from these scouts and everybody. So honestly, I just kind of settled here. And I gave him Kalijah Kancey. Get some interior defensive line help. I think Kalijah Kancey is a fine player. I don't think he's a first-round talent. Especially don't think I don't think he should go 20, if anything. He should go late, like last 5 picks of the draft, or the first round. But, we have them going Kalijah Kancey. Now, the Chargers here, I think if Bijan Robinson's available, which I don't think he'll be. Obviously, I mocked him all the way at pick 12. I think they're definitely taking a look at him. So, for the Chargers, I'm going Jordan Addison. They need another playmaker, and they need somebody who can be an absolute, threat down the field from his speed and quickness and not just his jump ball ability. And hopefully he can stay healthy because obviously the other guys have had some injury histories, which, Jordan Addison being smaller, maybe, he could rack up some injury history. Obviously, I hope not, but I think a deep playmaker down the field would be an absolutely amazing pick for the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, the Ravens are on the clock. And here for the Ravens, I had him going Myles Murphy. I had him going edge rusher. Where is he? There he is. I think, they lost Calais Campbell. I think they could definitely need some help in that defense. I think they're possibly looking at cornerback. But with the top 4 gone, I was trying to figure out where some of these other cornerbacks went. But I think Myles Murphy makes a lot of sense for the Baltimore Ravens. And now, the Minnesota Vikings, this will be our next trade. And they will be trading down with the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati. Oh, that's the Saints. Again, not too caught up on the details or anything, but, whatever. But the Bengals trade up, and they go ahead, and they're going to select their new offensive tackle in Broderick Jones. They ain't seen a tackle help on the other side of Orlando Brown Jr. Doesn't seem Jonah Wright wants to play tackle, or Jonah Williams. That's his name? And then I don't know what's happening with La'el Collins. I have no idea. The Jaguars, Brian Branch, this one makes the most sense. This one definitely makes a lot of sense for the Jaguars. Need some secondary help, and Brian Branch can do anything in the secondary. The Giants, and this is where we had the final receiver going, Quentin Johnston. I was trying to figure out maybe John Michael Schmitz. I think that's definitely a possibility. But I think they're definitely looking at wide receiver in this class, and I think they try to make sure they get one of the top receivers in this class, even though it is a weaker draft class. Now the Cowboys, here I have them going Michael Mayer. I've heard rumors that they could go tight end, and I think Michael Mayers makes a lot of sense there. Go ahead and get another playmaker with all the other receivers gone. And yeah, I think that'd be a great pick here for the Dallas Cowboys. And now the Buffalo Bills are back on the clock. And for this pick, I had him going DeWand Jones. Deion Dawkins is fine at that left side. I think Spencer Brown's their right tackle, and honestly, I'm not the biggest Spencer Brown fan. I definitely think they're looking to upgrade at that tackle spot. And then the Vikings, after trading down, I have them going Emmanuel Forbes. They're going to get a cornerback. I think another cornerback is going to sneak into this late first round, and I think that's going to be Emmanuel Forbes. I think that could be Tyreek Stevenson. I'm not a huge, but I'm definitely higher on Kelee Ringo. He's my 5th cornerback in this draft, so I definitely could see that. Cam Smith, there's a lot of guys I could really see going here in this late first round. but I think one of them's going to go, and I think it's going to be Emmanuel Forbes. And now the Saints are back on the clock, and I have them going edge rusher. I have them going Keon White. He got invited to the draft, so there has to be something there. Some rumors there. I think the Saints need defensive line terribly bad, and I got them going Keon White. Now this is going to be the final trade. Eagles are going to trade out of the first round with the where are they at? Miami Dolphins, and I think it's going to be a two second rounders. Eagles are going to trade back, and into the second round out of the first round. And rumors have been said that maybe Miami trades into the first round for a specific player, and I think this will go. And that's kind of like the trade that happened back in 2019 when the Washington Commanders traded up with the Colts. That was 2 second-round picks. This one's 30th. I think that pick was 26. They're pretty much the same, I think around the same range. I think 51 was a little later than what Washington had that year. But Miami Dolphins, they're going to go ahead and select running back Jahmyr Gibbs. They love these type of running backs. These pass-catching, elusive, smaller running backs. You see it with Raheem Mostert. You see it with who was that other running back they had? I forget, but yeah, you see it with these type of running backs, especially with Mike McDaniels. They love these type of running backs. I think Jahmyr Gibbs, they're going to try to get him, and they're going to trade up into the first round and acquire them. And now the Chiefs are just going to be chilling. They need another offensive tackle, and that's going to be Anton Harrison. So, man, that's going to be my final predictive NFL mock draft for the 2023 NFL season, or NFL draft. Man, I took a lot of time into this, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more like this. But Bryce Young, Tyree Wilson to the Texans. Cardinals get Christian Gonzalez. Colts get C.J. Stroud. The Seahawks get Will Anderson. The Lions get Devon Witherspoon. Raiders get Will Levis. Falcons get Jalen Carter. Bears get Paris Johnson Jr. Titans select Anthony Richardson. Eagles get Peter Skoronski. The Buccaneers select Bijan Robinson. The Packers get Lucas Van Ness. Patriots, Zay Flowers. Jets, Darnell Wright. Commanders, Deontay Banks. Steelers, Joey Porter Jr. Nolan Smith to the Lions. Texans get Jackson Smith-Njigba. Seahawks get Kalijah Kancey. Chargers get Jordan Addison. Miles Murphy to the Ravens. Bengals trade up for Broderick Jones. Jaguars get Brian Branch. Jaguars get Brian Branch. Giants get Quentin Johnston. And the Cowboys get Michael Mayer. Bills get DeJuan Jones. Vikings trade down for Emmanuel Forbes. Saints draft Keon White. The Dolphins trade up into the first round for Jahmyr Gibbs, and the Chiefs select Anton Harrison. So that's my draft. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.